All right. This is another episode of NTD. I am Doja and I'm with my friend Dixon. Dixon, tell us, how are you doing today?
The way he said Doja for me, it sounded like a woman who just gave birth. You behaving old. Um I don't know, for some reason I feel very nervous. I still feel nervous,
Really?
even after rinsing away the nervousness. The drink of water. So what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today just going to be having a conversation, obviously. We're going to be exchanging, random book titles and just, talk about the books basically. It's not like we're doing like having in-depth conversations, on the books. It's just like, okay, have you read this? What do you think about it? What's stood out for you in the book and all of that. So just going to be exchanging random book titles. I've said that before, Abby.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. When I think about like books and book titles, I remember that I have not always been a reader. So I think it's a good place to ask you how long you've read books. Like how long have you read books?
Mm, let me see. I think I've been reading since primary school.
Hey God,
Wait now,
these are
wait,
the people that
wait,
make us feel like
wait.
we're wasting our lives.
It's not that deep.
Oh please.
The thing is, right? My elder sister, the one that I follow,
Okay,
she's a reader. She reads for a living. No, she doesn't read for a living, but she reads a lot of books.
okay.
Right. So when we were younger, my dad used to buy her books. He just take her to bookshops and get her books. Right. So I just read the books because my sister is reading them. But then she now dragged me into this. So you're following someone else, the person doing you're
Yeah,
doing. So she started
yeah.
reading Nigerian books, African books, right? So it's like, oh, check this one out, oh, check this one out, check this one out, check this one out. And that's how I entered into this phase that
Hmm.
I still am in currently. Yeah.
Now, wow. But I like the idea of introducing like little kids to books. And I had an argument with my friend. It's not that deep. But the debate was about um how long it would take my kids before they see TV, like before they begin to watch TV.
Mm.
Um, I, my case essentially was that books are a more educative medium to acquire knowledge than films. Even though I love films, I just feel like in formative years, books do a better deal, right? And for me, I I started reading in 2020.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's so close.
That's so close. Yeah, and I don't have so much exposure when it comes to like books, fiction self. I enjoy reading books now, but it was a skill like I had to tediously develop, right? And although I wound up being somebody like who everybody thinks is a writer.
What do you mean?
Okay, I mean somebody who wants to become a writer, somebody who writes here and there. But I think I still need a lot of education when it comes to like books. So today many of the books that I'm hoping that we'll talk about are books that I have not read, right? But then there are some that I have read. So I think it's a good place to get into it.
Okay, so we're just going to be going. Are we going back and forth? You mentioned the book title. I mentioned the book title. Or
Okay. Or we do. But yeah, I think we should go back and forth. Probably like you mentioned the book, I have read it, and then we just
all right. Let's get right into it. So the first on the list
okay.
is a book
Drum
that
rolls.
it's a book that I know that you read,
Wait,
but
which
I'll
book that?
just I'll say it out anyway, just so that you can feel good at the beginning.
What? What? Did you just call me out?
No.
No,
Who
no.
am I?
It's calm.
Um,
It's calm.
a broken people's playlist.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I've read that. I thoroughly enjoyed. That was by Chimeka Garrix. Now, like I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed that it's a collection of short stories. I think it's what they call in literature an anthology. Which, by the way, I should say that even though it took that long, like it took until 2020 before I gave myself to like devotedly reading books. I have had like exposure here and there with literature. I've always loved literature, and since this is Yan, the deviation is welcomed. I low key wanted to be a thespian. I wanted to be an actor when I was much younger, an actor or a lawyer. And guess why? I want to be a lawyer because those guys dressed nice. They dressed really nice, and then they talked really good, and then they wrote well. Like their writing was good. And then I wanted to become an actor because I find it intriguing that you pretend to be somebody else for a
I can
living.
like carry you know, be a whole new person.
Be a whole new
Be a
person,
whole new
right?
person.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
like,
we'll talk about that on the episode about movies. But I found it really intriguing. But you want to say something?
yeah, like I know this where actors and actresses are talking about like their characters,
Yeah.
and they're just like they will not mention the name of the character. They're like, I know you.
That's really crazy. I could go off the deep end talking about how amazed, how much in awe I am um of these guys, right? I ended up studying engineering in school, which is a far cry. It's a far cry. But then I was always the best in literature. Like I did so good at it. I loved literature a lot. Right. So it's Chimeka Garrix's anthology, A Broken People's Playlist collection of I think about 12 short stories, right?
Stories.
I think up to 12.
Mhm.
But I love them. I
Yeah,
love
so
the technique he employs in telling them. Should we talk about them in a little, or should we just move on?
if you want to talk about broken people's playlist,
Yeah.
we'll spend
That
a whole lot of time
book
here.
is broken.
The book
That book is broken.
Hey.
Our episode on one of the stories is coming shortly. Anyway, so um I think we should move to the next book.
Mhm.
So yeah, the next book I would bring off my own book list is Purple Hibiscus.
See, I'm
Yeah.
smiling.
Almost every Nigerian
If you've not
youngster.
read Purple Hibiscus and you say you read books, I don't know what it is you are reading.
No, it was like recommended reading in school, secondary school. That was my first exposure to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it for you?
No, I don't remember the first time
Your sister.
no. Maybe it was
Okay.
her. I don't know.
Okay.
I think I read it the first time in. Okay, yes, it was her. She brought a copy of the book back from school, and that was the first time I read it. And
Yeah.
then I think I read like three to four times, right? Like 3 to 4 times now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was her. She was the one.
How many times have you read it? I think I've done like 3 times or something. Like I really enjoyed the story.
I
Like
think
that
I've done
was
it 3 times too.
was my first exposure to like a writer, like a Nigerian writer, an African writer who could write like very clean, like Western, and then but the situation was like in the Nigerian context, and it was very relatable. So I really enjoyed reading the book.
Oh,
Really.
I still love Profile because I mean I don't think there's people cannot hate books, I mean. But like there's a renewed every single time I read the book, like I just discover new things like, oh really? Oh this happened and
Yeah,
that happened. And
really.
then I feel like I was in Suka before I came to
So
Suka.
Suka. Oh, and like it's like coming of age for you to come
Yeah.
to Suka
But like the
after
best part
having
for
read
me was
about
when
Suka.
like they went to Auntie Fama's house for
Oh,
the holidays.
oh,
Yeah.
where Camille will be describing how she used to bathe with water that wasn't enough to rinse off the soap on her body.
I remember when
Was-
they came to your house, and they came with
yeah.
their schedule like that. Their father had written down. And she's like, what is this? Is this my house? I make the rules. Ah.
Really crazy. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and another very realistic and relatable story I can what's called a moral that I can take from this story, or not necessarily a moral, which is like a hypothetical observation.
Mm.
Like it, trusting folks or trusting people that have um have grudges or have grievances against you, but don't tell you to your face, is just very dangerous. It's like I mean, the way Camille's father was always beating their mom and all, and she was on the floor. You will not know that she was capable of killing the man. I mean, everybody believed that it was Jaja that killed the
Everybody
man
believes on him, but
because he
like,
was the more
see
aggressive.
me just being happy that
The
this
man
man
died.
finally decided to
Can
do
you
because
imagine?
no,
Can you
it
imagine?
was paining me.
Yeah.
He, w-
Hey God,
I mean, I
are
think
you
she
a
just like
Christian?
no, don't do that, please.
Okay, I'm listening to you.
I mean, I think she just like she had like two miscarriages
Yeah,
because of the
that
man.
was terrible.
See,
That was really terrible stuff. That was very
ah,
terrible stuff. Like
the
I
man
don't,
was the man was crazy. Papa Eugene was crazy. I
very
don't
crazy. And on the floor, also, people will not believe that he was capable of all of the things that he did to us. Crazy stuff. Really crazy stuff. So yeah, next book.
what do I have? I've not read a spell of good things, or have you?
Oh no, I have not. But that's Ayobami Adebajo, right?
Yes.
The Stay With Me woman.
Yeah.
Has to Stay With Me. I think if there was a book that was capable of like becoming my girlfriend. I have a friend who I mean I think we'll have on the podcast. Um, I'll reserve her name for now. I She said that Stay With Me was trash. Like she thinks that the book was trash. And
That's so strange.
yeah,
Please need to
not
tell me who this
only
person is.
not only is it strange, it is painful. It's like having you say that Nsuka Okpa is terrible. Like say it to my
Please,
face.
let's not
That's
compare
like,
what you're not
it's
meant to
like
compare it.
no, no, yeah, but that's how similar it is. Like I mean, Nsuka Okpa is not like the best meal out there.
I'll share my comments.
Come on. But like you saying that
You
it's
always want me to talk
overrated.
about this thing
No,
every episode, but
no. It's like one of my guys eats okpa at what's it, Mary's lesson. And he had an exam that afternoon and he smashed the course A.
please. Coincidence.
But yeah, it's painful. But I mean, Stay With Me it's a beautiful novel. It's a very beautifully written novel. I think that she laid, every single sentence, every single phrase was laid like a perfect brick. I think it's not only the story and how realistic the story is, but how patiently she told the story, like how and the techniques she employed, her word choice, and it was beautiful. And I mean, how the name of the novel even came out. Like, you remember how the name of the
Yeah,
novel came out? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's like I loved it. I really really loved it, and I mean, there's something I want to say now, but I'll be accused of blasphemy, so I'll reserve it. Now, I'll reserve it. Don't worry, probably like in the future episode, I'll have the goal to say it. So, Stay With Me. It's another beautiful novel I read.
Is how we went from a
A
spell
spell
of
of
good
good
things
things to Stay With Me.
to
Yeah,
stay with me.
there we have it. So, what's the next book?
For me, it's I do not come to you by chance.
Oh,
Have
I've
you
heard
read
a
it?
lot about that book, but I have
Oh,
not. I have not read it.
okay.
I have not
I
read
do
it.
not come to you by chance. It's about
When you brush off your eyelids like this, y- you know,
it's about Cash Daddy.
it's about
No,
what?
no, no. The book is not about Cash Daddy, right?
Okay,
But Cash Daddy is the Igbo man that was doing what they call is Yahoo now. Was
really?
he, yes, he was doing the guy was doing proper Yahoo business.
What's that supposed to look like?
Half of my own business. And he was like someone that they really admired in society. The book was not about him. But this is just like me talking about Cash Daddy.
Whoa, okay.
So, especially about society, I think he was even going for governor of the states, right?
Yeah.
And like, he had like, as usual, hotels, other businesses that covered his venture. And then this guy comes to work with him. Kingsley comes to work with him.
Yeah.
Kingsley is his nephew. Yeah. Kingsley comes to work with him. And then Kingsley, ventures into the
into the
Yeah, business.
business. Yeah,
The
man.
funniest part of this, no, it's not the funniest part, but like something that really
Okay.
got me this because I don't know why I started reading their acknowledgements, right?
Okay.
And I saw where she said, "My 419 sources and acquaintances."
Wait. The author's acknowledgements of the book.
Yes, my 419 sources and acquaintances for kindly or inadvertently allowing me a peep into your surreal world.
Okay. So this book, and I know that thing about writers. This book is really an excavation of stuff that realistically happened, like that really
Hey.
happened.
When I
Crazy.
saw it,
Writers are
because
like
like
that.
I don't, always book just when I'm on the book. That's like it for me. I just okay, let me just go to acknowledgements. I just on my phone, nice sources and acquaintances. I'm like, what? I take a screenshot. I said to my stomach, did you see this in me?
Crazy, really
Yeah, I
crazy.
heard there's a movie for this book.
Which book is that?
I did not come to you by chance.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Recent.
it's not. I don't think it's out yet, right?
Hmm.
But like, there's a movie that's coming out for it. I really hope they do justice to the book. I hope they do.
Hmm. Um. So I think that the next book on my list will be Americana,
Hmm.
and I mean everybody, everybody has read Americana.
Video.
Not everybody. Okay, you have not read Americana.
I read Americana, definitely.
Americana is like that book that um when people say they've read Chimamanda,
Hmm.
the book they refer to.
Are you sure it's Americana? I thought it's Purple
Yeah,
Hibiscus.
I think that Americana, like, Purple Hibiscus was like her sophomore book, right? Like the book that she wrote after Half of Yellow Sun. Which, by the way, have you read Half of Yellow Sun?
Hmm.
Have you read Half of Yellow Sun?
I've started it, but I've not finished. It's
Was
too
it a tough
big.
book?
Hmm?
Is it because it's like historical fiction?
Yes, there's that aspect of it, and the book is really long.
Okay,
It's long, but as a CNA fangirl,
okay.
I should read. I should finish it, and I
I
will.
I feel like there's peer pressure for people to fancy any.
No.
Because I think that there's a lot of peer pressure
The
to
problem
fancy.
is that I think the best CNA book for me is
Mm,
best CNA book is Pop Hibiscus. And
okay,
after reading Pop Hibiscus, it was very difficult for me to read the others because like
okay.
I kept on expecting Pop Hibiscus. I don't even know how to put this thing I'm about to say now.
Purple Hibiscus ish.
Kind
But
of
you
books.
don't do that. Like, don't do that.
But it's all like it's my friend that hasn't read any of CNA's books, and she
Yeah.
asked me. She said, I've already have seen his books. That which one should I start with? And I said, don't give me the best. Don't give me one I think is best.
Yeah.
Just give me anyone, like just any of our
Okay.
books, any of our other books. I said, okay,
Okay.
then don't read Papa Hibiscus first. Then I told her, I think I recommended the thing around your neck.
Yeah.
I
Which
don't know, like the
I I'm going
collection of
to
stories and all.
I was going to recommend among my list of books because I found out that yeah I started to read, but I had not read many other authors outside Achibi and Chimamanda.
Okay.
Right. So I just read the two of them. They were the stellar examples of what like African writers were doing. So I was like, yeah. But Americana is like about it's a love story interwound in politics and racism and post
Biafra.
colonialism.
know,
And no, the Biafra one
this Biafra is
is the half of a yellow
yeah,
sun.
yeah.
And half of a yellow sun because um that is what's on the flag of Biafra.
And the
Yeah.
Biafra
So
flag.
I always wondered where half of a yellow sun came from.
It was there, like in the book
No,
now.
no, no. Like I mean, before reading the
Okay,
book,
okay,
it's
before
like,
reading.
where did that come from? Like, how did you come up with this? It's just like stay with me. I was wondering like, where did this come from? Even the thing around your neck, and I think in the future episode, do you know why it's called the thing around your neck? When we talk about it, you'll see. Yeah. When we talk about the book, this the love story. I think the thing there's one of the stories in the thing around your neck titled "Ceiling." I think
Is
is
this?
there. And that story is taken from a chapter in Americana.
Americana.
Yeah, and Chimamanda does a very good job. I mean, she employs a lot of like what do you call it, allegories metaphors while talking about things. For example, she uses hair as a metaphor, and she writes very beautifully.
There
She
was this
writes it
part in, I
a
think
lot
the
of grace.
Purple Hibiscus, where
Yeah,
she was trying to describe, I don't know if I can describe this thing well,
yeah.
but someone's nail, right now, a nail is long.
Okay,
And then if you look, like it's like there's a shadow on the skin that's beneath the nail.
yeah.
And she was trying to, I think I was sick. I think this was like my third read,
All right.
right? And I was sick. I was just reading it on the bed. And I was like, is this what this lady is trying to describe? How can she,
How can she be
how can
doing
she
this,
be,
right?
why is she even describing
That's so
this?
weird. And when I think about myself as a writer, I think about this obsession I have for characterizations. Like I'm on the street, like I would rather just be calm on the street or be in conversation on the street, but then or in the open. But like I'm observing everybody and I'm wondering what it is like to be them. And it's really weird. I'm like, what would it feel like to be this man? And what do we feel like to be this man? I'm doing that like for a lot of people at once. I'm like, and somebody would think that I am. Sometimes people think I'm looking somewhere, and people think that I'm looking at them, but what law? It is far gone. It is far gone. And I think somebody made it about it that writers, that writers are not good people. They will turn your life. And you've read it, somebody's acknowledgement now.
Like, my sister went to the market though.
Yeah.
Like she just went to the market and came back. Oh, I like the woman that came up to me. She wrote a whole.
Oh, your sister, right?
I say sorry. Normal people will go to market and come back.
Yeah.
You came back to say, I think I've been thinking about this theory recently. I think writers are like noisemakers, like people that make noise. It's just that they don't, make the noise. They just everything that is in their head that they want to say
Yeah.
out, they write it.
Mm.
I think I don't know. I just
That's
I think that's what it
that's
is. Because like the same way someone is observing something and the person
yeah.
is talking about it like right
Yeah.
away, just saying it.
Yeah.
Like, a writer can be observing that thing too, right? And the person just goes to call it out, in
Feel
words.
attacked. But
Be attacked, catch yourself.
moving on. What's the next story
The
on your
next book
list?
on my list,
Yeah.
which you have already talked about, is Stay With Me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next?
Children of Blood and Bone.
What's that about? I think I've heard about that
I've
book.
not read it either.
You haven't read it either. Oh, that's
I haven't read
cool.
it
We'll probably
either.
check it out. Then, interestingly, Chinachebe's magnum opus, Things Fall Apart,
Hmm.
which, by the way, also many folks don't know why it's called Things Fall Apart. And Things Fall Apart is a phrase from a poem that Chinachebe read. The poet's name is W.B. Yeats, I think. So, the guy who wrote the poem. I think he wrote the poem a century before or something.
Okay.
And people don't even know that the guy. People know the title because it's his Chinachebe's book. I really love the book. But what I wanted to point out about it is that I read the book like 50 years after it was published. So I read the book in like 2019.
I don't know when I read Things Fall Apart.
And everybody was saying, things fall apart, things fall apart, things fall apart.
I have read it too, but it's one of the books I read in my early
Your early
early
years.
days.
When you talk like that, you
So
sound so old. Somebody will not know.
in my early years,
Yeah.
some books I read in those days. So
Yeah.
I think I need to read it again, just for effect.
Perfect, right? Are you one of those people that, you read the book and then keep it so that time will pass? So long a time will pass. Then you pick it and read it again just so you feel what you
Now, some things that you missed out on.
No, just that you feel the things that you felt before, that you cry the way you
Well,
I have a friend who does that with music. So they listen to the music, listen to the music, listen to it like 100 times. And then they'll leave it for a while. Probably like
wow,
2, 3
that's not
months.
very strange, Sha.
Mm.
Okay.
That's good and fine. And of course, all of China's books no longer is
Arrow
Antilles
of
of the
God.
Savannah,
He's one of his
Arrow
Arrow
of
of
God,
God.
yeah, Man of the People. I think I even read at the time. I was wondering why would somebody do this? This is not fiction though, but it was the problem with Nigeria. It was kind of collection of essays he made about, the problem with Nigeria. I think not the trouble with Nigeria is what the book is called, not the problem with Nigeria. The trouble with Nigeria. Address such issues as corruption, as religious bigotry, as biases, tribalism, so on and so forth. And like I wrote like 8 pages full of new words the time I read the book. Was like, why would somebody do this?
I
Why
think
would
at that
somebody?
time, I to
Yeah.
say, Tina Achebe as, let me buy this book for you so that use your dictionary
Oh,
as you're reading it, so that you learn new words.
bro, that using your dictionary thing, like, that thing was so difficult to do while reading. And I'm grateful for like our era, the whole Gen Z era, where you know it is hyperlinked into the book where you can like tap the
Yeah,
word
yeah.
and then look it up in the dictionary. Like
For ebooks.
saves stress. So yeah, what's the next book on your list?
Um, butter honey pig bread.
That sounds like an interesting title. Have you read it?
I have not finished this book because the
Mm.
book was messing with my mind.
Tell me all about it.
So I had to pause, like, what's going on here?
Okay.
I think at the time that's when my start gave me
Yeah.
the middle daughter. So I just paused it to read about the middle daughter. So this book,
Okay.
right? It was talking about Cambria Cam I pronounce nonsense.
Mm.
Cam
It's interesting how when we are reading the names of the people,
it's
we just
all
we just read
you
it and
know.
go on.
Wait, let me see.
you know.
Kambirinachi.
Okay. Oh, I
Please,
forgot you're
I'm
not
not
able.
Igbo,
So.
please.
Okay.
Is the book is about the woman and
Yeah.
her twin daughters, Kehinde and Tai.
Yeah.
Tai and Kehinde.
Yeah.
So they talk about, you can be reading a chapter, and chapter is talking about Tai, next chapter is talking about Kehinde,
Yeah.
and next chapter is talking about the mother.
Mm.
And the mother is like, in current day, she is the mother of the twins,
Okay.
right? And
Yeah.
then the next chapter talk about the mother in her younger days,
Yeah.
right? So apparently she was this, what they call the children that used to come and die and
Obanje.
Obanje. Yes.
Yeah.
She was that, and so she stayed, right? She
Okay.
didn't she not die. Was it her? Yes. So she used to communicate with
Oh.
with spirits.
Okay. So that
She
is that the
communicated
part I was messing with you?
that was no.
Okay.
Then I think one of our daughters, I think her daughters now they had some kind of issues. I think when they lost their dad, they had some kind of, because okay, no, was she the one that lost her dad? You see
Mm.
how I'm confused now. This is how I was when I was reading that book. I think at the time a lot of things were going on with me. So I said, I
Yeah.
can't be adding this.
Yeah.
I'm reading this book for
To escape reality.
exactly.
So what's going on?
This work is too much. I'll come back to some other time. So I just paused the book and
Yeah.
I said I was going to come back and do it later. But like Ty and Kane, they were not, they were, you know how there was this whole self-preservation. This
Yeah.
one went abroad, then this one used to write letters to her. And she
Yeah.
liked reading the letters, but she didn't reach out to her and tell her that she liked reading.
Ah.
It was just too much. I said, no, please,
Voila.
you are not going
Even
to bring
the
me.
title of the book sounds
I
very
dragged it.
complicated. Butter what again?
Butter, honey, pig bread.
Ah. God, I beg.
Man, I'll come back to you sometime in life.
It's calm. It's calm. Have you read The Fisherman by Obioma? Chigozie Obioma. But have you heard about the novel?
Not at all.
An interesting one. Anyway, four brothers. I think Ikena, Boja, Ubembe, and Benjamin. The book starts where the fish at a certain river near their home, the city of Akure, right? And on one of their trips, they encounter this madman who follows them, shouting in the name of their eldest brother.
Say the word book is The Fisherman.
Yeah, the fisherman.
Okay.
And he shouts some prophecies that cripples their family. Really crazy, really crazy, really crazy. Like the prophecy just undoes their family, and then expectations their parents have for them and all of that. It's a nice one, and I think that it's because it's a debut novel, right? I think it's a very good start. It's incredible work actually. One of my friends, Ifama, let me see, former Oraki. I had to mention her name so when she listens to this, she will hear that I gave her shout outs. She really loves Chigozie Obiama's works. So really, really interesting novel, actually. Great storytelling and all. I want to write like them when I grow up. Haha. What's the next book on your list?
Well, there's this Wahala, the novel. I've not read it.
Yeah, I think I saw that novel too. I saw that novel, Wahala. Wahala.
Wahala.
I like that title, Wahala.
Yeah.
It makes it very, very it makes it very, very Nigerian. There's a book I saw, that sounds like Wahala. My sister, the serial killer. Have you read it?
Mm.
But have you heard about it?
Yes, I have.
People, it's one of those books that you ladies, and I am not sexist.
Of course.
You ladies, I feel like ladies, you guys like reading emotional books, like reading books that
Don't make
no, and
don't
this
make
is
the
away.
lady thing.
This is away from like smart and all. But I'm like, you guys just like reading books that making people feel hyperventilated. Oh God, it's calm.
Of course it is.
You guys are the species of. Okay, let me stop here because
Stop
it's already
there. Stop
it's
right
already
there.
sounding sexist.
Just stop
I'm
there.
not sexist, guys. I'm not sexist. In fact, if anything, I mean, I would identify as somebody who believes and who advocates
Ooh.
equal opportunities for both genders. Like, why are you? Why are you?
A round of
clapping?
applause.
You know it's true. You know it's true.
Oh yes, I do actually.
Yeah. So it's calm. What's the next book on your list?
The next book on my list is
Yeah.
Yinka.
Okay, where is your husband? Have you read the book?
Yes, I have. So like
Okay.
the first part of the book, like was you open the book, you got to see is a dictionary.
Definition of husband.
Yes, like
For real?
husband pronounced husband. Noun number one,
For real?
a male partner in marriage. Example:
Okay.
Yinka's younger sister Kemi is married to Uche. Number two, a non-existent man in a non-existent marriage whose whereabouts is often asked, usually by Nigerian moms and
I get
aunties
the drift.
of single British
I get the
Nigerian
drift.
women. Example:
Yeah.
so Yinka,
Where is your
where is your
husband?
husband?
I
You're
like
31 now.
I like the way she introduces it.
That was
It's
really,
calm.
really that
That was
really,
novel and yeah,
a
and
really
funny.
nice. Yeah, but this book,
Yeah.
I don't like to say that.
It did not give.
In fact, no.
Okay. I'm listening.
I shut the words. The book didn't give everything I expected it to give. I mean, I think it's just because I started reading with an expectation of, and then when I saw that it was the whole, it was in, how did you say that thing? It was, what's that word? How can I be forgetting that word where you see the book was something in New York?
something set.
It was set.
Okay. something
Yes.
something.
It was set in New York.
Okay.
I'm guessing. I hope I'm not mistaking this.
Okay.
Right? It was set in New York. So it was not set in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right. And then there was this whole trying to, that thing we talked about where we said
Yeah,
the
try
whole
to westernized
yes.
something
I
that
get
is
the fact that
African.
it was abroad and all of
I
that.
think I had that issue when I first read Purple Hibiscus. Like they were eating beans with chicken. Like I was like, that was but I think I get it. They were just a middle class family. They could
the
afford that
father
life. So that's
but then like
good,
this
but
one, I think my favorite part of this book were the places where her aunties would speak. Their aunties were
okay.
where I'm hearing, proper Nigerian. But apart from that, you now see where she had this. Although I don't know, I think it's the thing where Nigerians go abroad,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
And then they
it's
begin
blending.
to take up they begin to
chameleon.
sound like I'm about to say those guys.
She's not racist.
It sounds like white people begin to behave like white people, do white people things. I get it, right? It was not staged was not set in Nigeria, but
okay.
I don't know. I just read the book and I finished with the book and I'm like, okay, I finished. what's next?
Mm.
It was just, it didn't give me. Now I finish reading, stay with me. I finish reading 4, 5,
Yeah,
stay like or maybe you don't want to, and I was going to like see what's happening. Well,
yeah.
okay, how did this end up and all of that?
What do you think accounted for it? Do you think like she used her words well, like what choice? Do you think it
I,
was like how she told the story, or it was with the story itself? Because the thing is, I've grown to find out that like some of the things that are told in these stories actually can happen. The way the story came out is something that can actually happen. So, and it is one of those kinds of occurrences that like if it happens, you feel cringe. Like you notice it happening, like in real life, you feel really cringe.
mm,
So, it was just ticking and then it was told. So, do you think that it could actually have happened, or you think the problem was with the way the writer communicated it?
well, it could. It's a very realistic story, right? The
Yeah,
whole Yinka was your husband, and the fact that aunties were, and then she had this auntie that was not in support of all the other people because the auntie was not married, right?
yeah.
And all of that. And there's even a movie, there's this series that has something like that, right? But
Okay,
then I don't know if Yinka was a proper Nigerian girl
okay,
or she was, you know how you're still the Nigerian that you are.
yeah.
Because she'll still be saying things like, making using Nigerian, but then she was
Mm,
also, I think it was just the writer's choice of words. I mean, the way she told the story.
mm.
I really don't know what to say, but it didn't give me
Well,
what it was meant to give.
speaking of this Yinka, where is your husband? Sounds like is it nearly all the men in Lagos are mad?
Because I'm
He's giving that title, and I was looking forward to reading that book because, like I said, I've not read so many of
no,
these books.
so recently,
Yeah, tell me,
right? I read this book. I don't know when. I think when it just came out, that's when I read it. Because I
which
think
book is
the
that?
person that this nearly all the men in Lagos are mad. I think the
Okay,
writer is a
I heard the
Nigerian
book is very
actress.
explicit,
I think the writer.
but Lagos is very
Let me
explicit, so
confirm that.
I
So,
think the
um,
the the energy
the
matches up.
book, my commentator told me it was nice, right?
Yeah,
I
what do you
mean,
think?
I liked it at the time, but then recently there's
Mm-hmm.
this book, this readers group that I'm on,
Okay,
right? And then everyone is like, because they were bashing the other book, the
the the sequel to
what
was it a sequel or it was like a response to
like
it?
a response to the book. Who
Wait, I'm
made
guessing the person who wrote the book was a woman, and the person who wrote the
yeah,
answer was a man.
yes, I
Ah,
think
that's
so.
it.
But like
Voila.
who made all the Lagos member? I think something like that.
Okay.
And then someone was like, the book should have been written, and blah blah blah, and that. And then someone was like, even the Nelly men Lagos safe.
Okay. No follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this my friend, we're discussing, and then she was like,
Yeah.
that she really doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
Like she should. I think we should just gonna read it again so that we can see what these people are talking about. Because like
Okay.
I like to hear other people's like point of view about certain books. Let's be like okay, because I like to read from this appreciating the author
Okay.
point of
Standpoint.
view,
Right.
right? And then it was the Nigerian actress that wrote the book,
Was
and
that your actress that
that
wrote the
wrote
book?
Nelly Odimendi or somebody else. So, and
Okay.
I'm like, okay. I mean, like I've seen if you're movies and she's really good. So I'm like, okay,
Okay.
let me. And that's how I read the book from the
A good actress
appreciating
doesn't always translate into a good
from the
writer.
appreciating the
Writing is
author
difficult.
point of view. But
Yeah.
yeah, the book isn't terrible to me. I mean,
Okay.
maybe I'll read it
I'll
again and
check
have
it out.
another, but to me, it's not.
This year is the year I check out more of these books.
So we
Um.
have to own a podcast now.
Inevitably, right? So I think the final set of books will be books by for this particular segment of the podcast be books by Akuke Mezi. Um Akuke Mezi is popular now. Freshwater, you made a fool of death
It's your
with your
beauty.
beauty. I like that title. That title is very colorful. It's very alluring. What is her other book now? There's a third book that she wrote.
There's this one, the death of Vivek
She's the one that
Oji.
wrote that book, so
I forgot
she's into a
again.
lot of spiritism, a lot of like of course she's representing the trans
Oh
folks.
really?
Yeah. You know, um incredible stuff. She's an amazing writer. Like I think that she could stand up to Chimamanda Adichie when it comes to like
Funny
her
how I've not
writing.
read any of her books. It's so
You
weird.
should. I think I thought I saw you. I thought I saw Freshwater on your bookshelf the other time.
Must be
Really,
me.
really.
Yep.
Well, so far so good. Interestingly, I have found out that we've been mentioning mostly like Nigerian
Yeah.
novels.
I was going to say this.
So I think this is an opportunity to do like a rapid fire session, seeing that we're running out of time on this particular episode. So we just do a rapid fire session where we recommend books, books that are like from other authors that are not like, maybe we should include books from like, okay, here's what we should do. We should include books from authors that are not like very popular, even though they're Nigerian, right? Like, so we just include books from there. Do you have any such books?
uh
I have a couple anyway. There's
the
one
thing
by
is, the problem with me is that I don't
yeah.
used to look at the author's
Oh,
names.
you are in the sect of people that don't look at
That's
the
the problem
author's
with
names.
me.
So you just open the book and then
And
you
I
just
just
start
read.
reading. Ah, please. I had an argument with my friend about this. I was like, bro, somebody sat down. Sometimes it
I
took
know, it's
10
so
years.
unfair.
Sometimes it took
I need
15
to.
to put this together. And then the person made it available to you. The least you could do was just appreciate the effort by knowing my name. You know, I
Okay,
mean, even though it's a pen name, like, come on.
I'll do better. I'll do better.
There's a book by Jennifer Macombi. It's called Kinto. It was written in 2014, and people have recommended that book a lot. I've seen it in many people's
Yeah.
um you should read list. Right, and then this book, The Secret Lives of Baba Shegi's Wife.
Yeah.
Okay, you read that one?
Yes, I have. Someone
That,
said recently that that book needs to be put into a movie.
really?
Yeah, the book is nice.
The thing about movie adaptations of books is that there are very few of them that do a good job.
But just to see Baba Shegi, so I see, just so we can see the drama. Right. So,
Yeah. What's
there's
the
a book I
recommendation you
really
have?
like, The Middle Daughter,
The Middle Daughter. Who wrote that?
Chika Onigwe.
Oh, Chika Onigwe. Chika Onigwe is the contemporary of Chimamanda.
Mm,
Yeah, I learned that they are contemporaries, right? I think they grew up in the same location and stuff.
okay.
Incredible stuff. So what's that book again?
The Middle Daughter.
Okay, The Middle
The Middle
Daughter.
Daughter is another is is triggering to bring out emotions from you. You
Oh,
want to
you've read The
beat
Middle Daughter?
yes, you want to beat some characters. You
Okay.
want to beat a party. You want to beat some characters in the book.
Hmm.
It's to get to it's got a book that will, like you just be like, what? How do we move from here to here? How did we even
Well, really crazy.
There's that and there's I was about to mention the book now
Which book is that?
and I cannot find it. Wow.
There's one I heard,
Okay.
Homegoing, by Ghanaian, I think, Ya Gyasi, something like that. People also put it
Okay,
on.
okay.
People also put the book on their you should read list. It's written by this story is always involved. Well, it's the way it is now, colonialism and many things. It just involves going to the West and all of that. But it's only fine. It's totally fine.
I
Yeah.
have daughters who walked this path. I don't
Daughters
know
walk
if
this
you have
path.
read that book.
No, I haven't. Who wrote the book? Oh, you don't want to look at the author's names. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Everything will be fine.
I should get this now.
Then I think there's one by Zimbabwean author that I saw here, Hairdresser of Harare. But by the way, how's that city? You know the city in Zimbabwe called, is it Harare or Harare? I used to struggle with pronouncing that name. So the author's name is Tendai Huchu. I love like books from like the other guys because the other guys that are not Nigerian because he just brings the African, like
Yeah.
he brings it.
By the way, daughters who walk this path is by Yejide. I don't know. Ah God, I don't
Yeah,
know how to
Yoruba.
pronounce.
Oh,
It's so terrible.
God, I beg you.
Yejide Kilan.
Let nobody hear this outside. Oh.
I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance. By Yejide Kilanko. The book is a really nice book. It's about
Yeah.
say am I mistaking it?
Are you mistaken it?
You at the beginning of the book you think it's about the Mariah girl.
Okay,
There's okay, no. There's she has a sister that's what do you call these people? She's albino. And
okay,
then everybody has issues with it at the beginning. And that's what you think the book is about,
okay.
right? Until, you know, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we've been
Go
very,
and read
very
the book.
deliberate about
Go
well,
and
not
read the
talking
book,
so much
please.
about the content.
Yeah. It's
Until a review episode where we are talking about some aspects
we'll be
of
spoiling books in our review episodes, just so you know.
will we?
Yes, I will be.
Okay, you will be. I think that we will just take a very we will take maybe an incident if you've read the book, if you've read the book we'll be talking about, we'll take an incident and blow it out of proportion. Like it's supposed not to be
You
that
think
deep.
yes.
It's
We'll
supposed
take
to be
it
that
and
deep,
make
but
it
we'll
deep.
we'll take it and then we'll deep it. So there's one, The Old Drift. It's written by a Zambian writer. I think her name is Namwali Sepel. Namwali. I like those names and how they sound.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a good book too. It's a good book. Some people recommend it highly. And then there's Beneath the Lion's Gaze by one Maza Bengiste. That's an Ethiopian writer. I like I like I like it. Actually, I do. I like the what's it called? The title, and it's giving East Africa. It's giving.
It's giving.
It's giving.
This I
So
am still with you.
I am still with you.
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
They say it has something to do with stay with me. Because like a I don't know how
Why do
to
people do that? Like this is not music where you write
I don't know how
this
I don't know
record and
what the
somebody
connection is. I've
replies
not
it.
read the book
Yeah.
either, Sha. But then it's by Emmanuel Idoma.
Okay, Manuel Doma. That
Yeah.
sounds like a
Iduma,
Nigerian.
sorry.
Uduma.
Iduma.
Iduma.
Mm.
Spell the Iduma.
Iduma.
Mm.
Yeah. This Jollof Rice and Other Revolutions. It has a very
Okay,
catchy
there's a book
title.
called Jollof Rice and Other
But I don't want
Revolutions.
to, recommend it because
Why?
I've not read it and I've not really seen it on plenty people. You must read it, but it has a
Oh,
very
really?
catchy title, and I think because
Mm.
of that, it should be nice.
I love, totally unrelated. I love titling books. Like titles are like the things that and the part of the writing that I love the most. Like I have so many interesting titles. I also found out that, to the contrary, many writers struggle with titling that works. They just like write the thing, But me, no, never. I have so many interesting titles, but I'm hoping that I can write them and people will read them because they're very, 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 very interesting. Yeah, there's one book I'm seeing I usually see on everybody's or many people's what's it called. You should read this Transparent City. It's an Angolan novel, so probably folks can check it out. And
Okay.
there's Orchard of Lost Souls. I think that's a Nigerian. Is that Nigerian? No, it isn't. I don't know which part of Africa the book comes from, but it's written by Nadifa Mohammed. So
Okay.
yeah, do you have any more
The
recommendations?
girl with the louding voice.
Okay, yeah, I saw that book too.
I'm
The
seeing
girl with
that
the
one. So it's by Abby Dari. Apparently, it's her debut novel. So
hmm,
don't know. It should be nice. It looks nice. I've seen it on a lot of people's. You should. Then
you
there's
should
the
read it.
list
Yeah,
by Yomi Adegoke.
the list,
Yeah.
like list, like spell the list.
LIST.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay,
I think well I don't know. When I opened the ebook, I
yeah.
saw emojis. Right. And I was like,
That's so
nah,
Gen Z. That's so
this can't be possible. You have to be kidding me.
whoa.
I mean, a friend and I were looking at the book together. We are just looking at books,
Yeah,
on our shelves. And then we opened the book. I saw emojis. I was like, no, you have to be kidding. And I think I did not read the book after that, but then I saw it on, a few people's,
you should read list.
yeah.
Hmm. Then so long a letter, the famished road. What's it called? There's this book. How beautiful were we? There's this book. How beautiful were we? I don't know. I saw it also on some
There's
folks.
one I'm missing too. The Mechanics of Yanokoa.
The Mechanics of
Yeah,
Yenagoa.
yeah.
Mm,
I'm missing that one too. On
not bad.
both should read this.
I think we just stop the recommendations there. We'll probably do another Have You Read episode. There we will we'll, we'll talk about books we've read between now and then, and then more books that we've discovered. We're hoping the episode was insightful for you, and it was just yarn for us. It's not supposed to be that deep.
And I hope you laughed. I know Dixon say I'm not a funny person.
Oh please.
But I know that
Oh
I am.
please.
And I hope you laughed. I care about you guys, we've been establishing this fact from the very beginning. And
God.
I care about
It's calm. It's calm. So till the next episode. See you.
you.